This is a great trade idea. Arvi is going to share superb analysis on KRE. And this is a great lesson on setting up an intermediate term bearish trade.
This is an askSlim trade idea video walkthrough for an intermediate term short idea in the SPDR regional banking ETF. That is the KRE. It is October 9th, 2025. So what we are going to first see is our askSlim MCM. Please note, if you are new to some of our offerings here, the askSlim MCM looks at over 350 underlyings using our indicators to give you a sum of the evidence bias across different time frames. You can see there is the intermediate term time frame, which is 3 to 8 weeks. There is the short term time frame, which is 1 to 3 weeks. There's the near term, which is around 1 to 5 sessions, and of course intraday as well. And what we have added in here on the right hand side is that now you can sort by what you want to see. If you only want to see the ETFs, you can do so. If you want to only see the stocks, you can do so. Please note, we have also added this in, which is cool. You can sort by industry groups, so you can see what groups are strong and what groups are weak. Let's actually first look at the ETFs because I want to highlight what's going on. And you can sort now by also trade setup conditions. So you can see again what is strong and what is weak. You can see what has been strong here. I'm going to now invert this and show you what's weak. You can see that it's the TUR, wheat, XLP, ARGT, XLRE. Let's keep going. IHI, ECH, KRE is there, ITB is there, XHB is there, right? Very, key sectors of the market to watch that are clearly weakening here. So all three of these actually we have been highlighting of late on the short side in individual issues. But I'm going to be looking at this short side opportunity here that I'm seeing in the KRE. Now, obviously, it is super hard to keep track of what's going on across different markets, but that's where the askSlim MCM can help you, right? You can actually be notified of changes in bias. And what I have always said and what I find most helpful is to track for shifts, meaning when it goes from neutral to slightly bearish or from neutral to slightly bullish. So I would just actually check all these three and be notified via the askSlim desktop app when there's a change. Okay, so this is a very useful tool for you to be able to really track what's going on. So let's now highlight what's happening in terms of our weekly and daily cycle analysis. So on the intermediate term, you can see the RS was positive here, and you can see that we were really working our way up over time. And now we are curling down. If we look at what's going on in terms of our cycle timing window, there's a low that is due 9/8 to 10/27. So we are in a window where there are now increasing odds of a corrective period given that the RS has turned down and that we are inside of that weekly cycle timing window. If we now jump over to the short term, this is where it gets very interesting. Throughout this whole move, you are only seeing a series of positive cycles with higher cycle highs, higher cycle lows, right? That has now changed. Look at what's happening in the RS. The RS has been holding red this whole time period. Even in that rally, the RS was actually negative. And now we are actually looking for this to fail somewhere around that 62.62, 63.20 area versus 64.59. And I'm going to be looking for this to move its way lower into that 61.29 to 59.75 area. That is the 61.8 to the 78.6. And there's a trough that is due 10.28 to 11.7. Okay, so this is our overall setup here in the KRE. We want to see acceleration below that low, very important, and that is at 62.31. And ideally, this really chops around a little bit and then starts to work its way back down like that. You do not want to see it really trade all that much through that high there at about 64. If it does, that would be a little bit of a warning sign about any kind of more meaningful weakness may no longer be in play. If you really start to see some buying through that high, you do want to see it at this point, given that we have now seen a series of lower highs and lower lows. You want to see that accelerate into lower lows. So this is our intermediate term short here in KRE, along with our logic behind the setup. If you want to see more of our trade ideas, as always, please head over to the askSlim.com website and click on membership options, and you can look at our either level 3 or level 4 offering. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great day.